Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, you are welcome. My name is Anita Fon, and if you haven't subscribed, kindly subscribe, hit the notification bell to get notified each and every time I upload a new tutorial to my channel. If you're a old member, you are welcome back. Thank you for coming back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you on how to draft this square neck pattern step by step. In the next tutorial, we're going to be sewing it together. So if you want to know how I'll be going about it, keep on watching. First thing I'll do is to go ahead and take my shoulder measurement divided by 2. Mine is 14. 14 divided by 2 is going to give me 7. I will minus half inch from there because we are working on a sleeveless top. Next thing I'll do is to slant it down by 1 inch. Then I'm going to move now to my armhole deep, which is 7.5 inch. I will that's 6.5 inch. I'm also going to come here and mark that up. I'll go ahead to connect it up. After marking it up, I'll do the same thing here as well. Then I'm going to go ahead and connect this point up like this. Then I'll go ahead to measure from my shoulder to my bust point, which is 10 inch. I'll go ahead to mark that up. From my shoulder to my under bust, which is 13.5 inch, and from my shoulder to the length of this top, I'll go with 16 inch. Then I'm going to go ahead and connect it up with a straight line. Once I'm done doing so, I'll go ahead now, take my nipple to nipple, which is 8 inch. 8 divided by 2 is going to give me 4. I'll go ahead to mark that up. I'll connect it up. Now I'll come out here by 3/4 inch. If you're working on a plus side, you can go out by 1 inch both sides. 3/4 inch, 3/4 inch both sides. Now from my bust point line, what I'm going to do is to come down by 1 inch. You can go down by 1 or 3/4 inch. After doing so, I'm going to go ahead. I'll be use my French curve to connect it up, but before I do so, I'll also mark that 3/4 inch here and the other side as well at the under bust line. Then I'm going to connect this part up like so. I'll go ahead now. I'm going to connect this up as well. Do the same thing here. After doing so, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come to this top part. I will extend it up by 1.5 inch. You can go up by 2 inch or by 3 inch depending on you. I will mark that up. I'm going to connect it all the way to that 1.5 inch. The next thing I'm going to do is to come here. I'll go out by 3/4 inch. You can go out by 3/4 inch or by half inch. I'm going out by 3/4 inch. Then I'm just going to connect this up all the way to that point. I will come here, measure up whatever I have and divide it by 2, which is 7.5 divided by 2 is going to give me 3.075. But I realized that it was longer than what I normally use, so I went ahead and we connect it up. Then I'll just take it and divide it by 2. Then I'm going to go in by half inch. I'll come here, I'll put 1/4 of my bust measurement, which is 34 divided by 4 is going to give me 8.5. I'll go ahead, mark that up, and I'm going to connect it up. After doing so, what I'm going to do is I'll come here, I'll connect this point up. I'll do the same thing here as well. When I'm done doing so, the next thing I'm going to do is to connect this part up like this with a straight line. I'm just going to measure or whatever I have there to be sure it is what I wanted. Okay, I wanted a strap of about 1.5 inch. I measure it up, then I'll go ahead to connect that point up. Once I'm done doing so, I'll connect this point with as well. Then I'm going to be putting my measurement. I will take round my bust and divide it by 4. Rama boss is 34. 34 divided by 4 is going to give me 8.5. I'll mark that up. Then I'm going to replace back the DAT allowance. When I'm done doing so, I'll replace back the DAT allowance. I'll come to my underboss. I'll put 1/4 of my underboss. Well, my underboss is 30. 30 divided by 4 is going to give me 7.5. I'll replace back the DAT allowance. I'll come to my waistline. I'll put 1/4 of my waist measurement. Around my waist is 27. 27 divided by 4 is going to give me 7 inch. I will mark that up. I'm going to replace back the DAT allowance. After doing so, I'll go ahead to connect it up with a straight line like you can see me doing. Then we're going to come at this downer part. I'll be extending the downer part by 3 inch, but you can go down by 3 or 4 inch. It depends on you. I'll go ahead now. I'll be connecting this part up here like this, that all the way to the downer part like you can see me doing. Then I'm going to come here to the side here. I'll go up by 1.5 inch, but you can go up to 2 inch. Okay, then I'm going to fold this part up like this before connecting the downer part of my pattern. This way, when we connect that up, we will not have a shortage of allowance. Look at how I'm placing up my curve ruler, and I'm going to go ahead and roll it up all the way to the top. Once I'm done doing so, the next thing I'm going to do is I'll go ahead now. I'll be drafting up the back. First thing I'm going to do is I'll go ahead to draw a straight line. I'm leaving about 2 inch space. Okay, we'll be using that up for our zipper allowance. I'm going to come here. I'll take the shoulder measurement divided by 2 like we did for the front, and you minus ½ inch from there. You go down by 1 inch for the shoulder slant. Then that's 6.5 inch. You're also going to mark it up here. Then you go ahead to connect it up like this. Once you're done connecting that up, I'm also going to go ahead connect this point up like this. The next thing I'm going to do is I'll go ahead now. I'll measure up whatever I have here and divide that by 2, which is 7.5 divided by 2 is going to give me 3.075. Then I'm going to put 1/4 of my bust measurement. Then I'll just go ahead to connect it all the way like this. Once I'm done doing so, I'm going to just connect. Remember that 1.5 inch we went up. I'm going to connect that up so we should have the same neck dip for the back. I'm going to go ahead, put my nipple to nipple, which is 8 divided by 2 is going to give me 4. I'll mark and I'm going to roll a straight line. I'm going to come out by ½ inch both sides, ½ inch. Then I'll connect it all the way to the chest line like this. Once I'm done doing so, what I'm going to do is to put 1/4 of my waist measurement. Then I'll be adding my 1 inch for my DAT allowance. I'll do the same thing on my chest line here. Once I'm done doing so, I'm going to go ahead now and connect that up. After connecting that up, we'll go ahead and create up the straps for the back as well. Now what I'm going to do is to turn it here. I'll measure up whatever I have, which is 1.5, but I want to be sure that that's what I have. I'm going to mark that up here, then we'll roll a straight line all the way straight downwards like this. Now you're going to level it up the back. Then now we're going to be creating a zipper allowance. If you want to use loops, there's no need for you to add your zipper allowance. I'll be adding 1 inch for my zipper allowance. Then I'll go ahead to connect it up with a straight line like you can see me doing right there. After doing so, I'll measure up whatever I have, that line, I'll measure it up and divide that by 2. Then you mark the center of that line. I'll mark the center that I'm going to come in by 1/2 inch. Then I'm going to go ahead to reconnect it up like this. I'll do the same thing here as well. Once I'm done doing so, the next thing I'm going to do, if you want to be using loops, what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead, you minus 2 inch from there. Look at where I'm measuring it. I'm just going to minus 2 inch from the downer part and from the top part. Remember that when you minus 2 inch, automatically you are taking out 4 inch for both sides, okay? But if you want to use the zipper, you can see the way I did that before. Now, if you want to separate this piece up, you can go ahead and separate it up, but this part is optional. And if you want to snatch it up, you just go ahead and create your dart of 0.25 both sides. Altogether is 1 inch. If not, you just leave it up like that. This part, like I said, is optional. Then go ahead and connect that up. Once we're done doing so, we will level them up. Number 1, 2, 3, and 4. Once I'm done doing so, I'll just go ahead and cut that up. I hope you love this tutorial. Don't forget to give the thumbs up, like, comment, and share. Like I said, the sewing tutorial is coming up after this one. Thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you on my next DIY. Bye.